This is my audio for the ending of Jim Crow as Group Number 5 and worked by myself. World War II's influence on the ending of Jim Crow. World War II came around, there was a lot of job openings for blacks. Blacks moved from south to north to find new jobs and leave behind Jim Crow. World War II completely changed America in general, racial discrimination furnishes grist for the communist propaganda mills. The link between white supremacy and Hitler's master race couldn't also not be ignored when talking about World War II. How the Civil Rights Movement and NAACP changed Jim Crow's laws. The NAACP changed Jim Crow's laws because it fought against the acting of lynching and other racist activities. The whole point of it was to fight legal actions against racism, educational programs for black adults and children, and encourage people to vote. The NAACP ruled that racially segregated public schools were also illegal. They also did the absolute most so that whites and blacks would be treated equally and racism could be stopped. Individuals that helped to change these laws, and I took some examples of what they did. Robert C. Weaver became Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. This was very helpful. He also became the first black cabinet member. President John F. Kennedy proposed civil rights legislation to end the Jim Crow era discrimination. James Farmer and William Young Jr. organized a massive protest that would raise awareness. Blacks and whites descended on the nation's capital and began to unite as one. Martin Luther King Jr. was also a very big part of this whole situation and played a very important role. Summarize some of the key court cases that helped to overturn laws. The Plessy versus Ferguson case, a man who refused to get off a railroad reserved for whites was arrested for breaking segregation rights. In 1944 court ruling, Smith versus Allwright said that the Southern black-white primary was illegal. Sweet versus Painter court ruled that blacks could not be denied entrance to a state university law on the account of race. Brown versus Board of Education, a lawsuit challenged a school board decision of Topeka, Kansas, that denied black student Linda Brown from attending an all-white public school. This court ruling said that the racially segregated public schools were illegal. This all helped a lot of ending Jim Crow. Summarize some of the first for black Americans as Jim Crow ended. The number of blacks elected in government rose after Jim Crow. Kids were also not being discriminated because of their skin color. There was an increased enrollment of black students. The number of black-owned businesses also increased. One last thing is the awareness and appreciation of black heritage to further the physiological and social healing from Jim Crow. Just people became more aware of the heritage and got to learn black people more, or their backgrounds, where they came from, what slavery was like, and that really just helped an end and brought whites and blacks together, reunited them. Affirmative action and its role in ending Jim Crow. These programs open up opportunities for education and employment. Action programs require that employers and school favor minorities and female applicants in an effort to create a more socially diverse workplace or student bodies, so just different people could take part in these things, jobs and education, so that our world could be a better place and get along more. This helped black citizens become more able to find better jobs and get better education. So this is my the ending of Jim Crow audio, and thank you for listening.